Hello and welcome to Mental Health and Me. This is just a sort of quick advice video that I wanted to give based on a previous experience, a quite recent one. I had to go and have some more scans done and MRI scans done because of my eye not moving, as you can see. And I had to go in the tunnel and what have you. And obviously I'm not the smallest of person. And when I went in December, it made me quite anxious and I felt quite claustrophobic because when you have your head scanned, you have to have like a plastic, like you're in a plastic brace, and then a thing comes over your face as well. You can see through, but then part of it like was pressing on my lips, not on my lips, on my beard, and like if I sort of like breathed out like that, I'd touch the plastic. So it was a bit iffy, and I was in there for an hour and 50, an hour and 20 minutes on this scan, and I was just basically like on the brink of pressing the little button thing they give you to come out again because my mind started to do what our minds do when we go through phases like that, and they start to go through the worst case scenarios of, what if you get trapped in here, what if it breaks and you're stuck in here, what if somebody locks you in, what if this happened, what if that happened, and the anxiety starts to build up and can spiral out of control. But what I did, firstly, because you've got no concept of time, because you're just looking up or looking flat ahead at top of the scanning machine, I started to count, and I was just doing a nice slow count. Obviously I knew if every 60 counts is about a minute, and I thought if I count to 600, that would be 10 minutes, and I ended up getting to 700 and something. Then by that point, I'd realised, I don't feel as bad. And then I started to. It was on the night of the England semi-final, so I started to think about the match then. But then I noticed quickly that my thoughts started to drift again, because I went to move my arms and I realised actually I had less space than what I thought. And I was about to start panicking again, but what I did and what I want you to try and do is this is where I keep using the same words, but to be mindful of that thought. I, I genuinely was mindful. So it's like taking a step back from your own self, your own mind, and seeing that that thought is just a thought. It's not a fact. It's just it's sort of spiraling a little bit. So just pull yourself back and start thinking about something else. And that's what I did. It's like if you was doing a maths test and somebody says, right, stop answering the questions, you'd stop answering the questions. You wouldn't like be drawn to keep going and going and going and going until like you've answered 10 years worth of maths questions. You just stop. And that's what that's like when your anxiety is starting to build up. Pull away from that thought. Don't get drawn into it. It takes practice, as I say, and it's boring to hear that. Believe me, like I say, I first started struggling 13 plus years, and I must have spent 12.75 of them years bloody wanting a miracle cure, But it's just hard work, and you've got to do it. You've got to practice. The more you can practice being mindful of the anxiety building up and what's the trigger and things like that, the better you get at it. So when you face a more anxious moment, a more anxious situation that will normally trigger you to have a panic attack and things like that, you've got these skills that you've learned, these tools, as we say, on your tool belt, so you can just draw them out. And as I did, I started to use my mindfulness of the situation and got through it. And to a lot of people watching this, that situation when I was in would be quite irrelevant, because to myself, I've had these scans done in the past and they've never bothered me until the last couple. But we've all got our trigger points, our situations that will set us off, and each to their own with them. The more you can practice these skills of being mindful of your thoughts and how you're reacting to them, and sort of pulling back from the thought, and sort of giving yourself a new train of thought to go down, the easier it gets and the more it becomes second nature. So again, I really hope that people can take something from this video or any of my other videos. As I always say, please feel free to message me if you've got any questions or any struggles yourself that you want maybe advice, or just to vent, and open up a bit. My page on Instagram is so what's the word? Not non-judgmental. Sorry. And you'll find the whole mental health community, really 99% of them are non-judgmental people, and it's quite a nice place to be at times. So thank you for watching, and take care and look after yourselves.